when you report it to the Department of Environment, they go out and tell the guys to get the water truck out and run around the roads. But as Janet pointed out earlier, they don't control where the waste has been dumped. They don't control where it's been pushed around. They don't control anything else unless there's a complaint. You can often go out there and there's no water truck. No water truck running around. The other thing is, they'll say, they have said that soon there may be a waste levy in Queensland again. Right, soon. We've had no indication from Premier Palaszczuk about this. There was an inquiry back in August after the Four Corners program about the transport of waste from New South Wales. They put an inquiry in place because the election was put on hold, or what didn't report. We've now had the elections been over 3 months. And we still don't know what the state government's going to do.
Keep persevering.
Sorry, folks.
I can't get this to work.
The issue here is, though, BMI's Swan Bank, in their own documents, moved 342,000 tonnes off Swan Bank site down to Cleanaway, New Chum, in the last financial year. 342,000 tonnes just from one site. Now, that site, Cleanaway, New Chum, is also a good corporate citizen. They're running the dump in Ipswich at New Chum. But they've been caught out many times by the work of irate members, where they've actually overfilled their current dump, 1.3 million cubic metres illegally, and then made retrospective application to the Ipswich City Council to be allowed to keep that 1.3 million cubic metres. Now, what does 1.3 million cubic metres mean? Well, Cleanaway charged somewhere between $30 and $40 a tonne. So let's use $30 a tonne. They made $40 million extra by cheating. Then they were forced to put in a new sediment pond because when they overfilled, all the stormwater started leaving the site. It's not supposed to leave the site. So they were forced to put in a new sediment pond. They then constructed 2 leachate ponds without approval from the Ipswich City Council or from the Department of Environment as well. And again, made retrospective application to do so. So, folks, we've got 2 good corporate citizens here in Ipswich, both operating dumps at the moment, and both, as we said earlier, want to build a new one, or in the case of Cleanaway, extend their current one.
We will take questions from the floor later, and if you've got a question, you will definitely be given a chance.
Yeah. Just
how much did political parties get in
No, we're not going to answer questions now, sorry. We'll take the question later.
Just park it, please. We'll take questions towards the end of the session. We should have explained that, folks. So if you want to make a note or whatever. Now, this is the Cleanaway dump. And you can see again the issue with dust here.
Watch it fly.
Now, DES looks at this stuff and says, oh, that dust never left the property boundary.
It
Right?
looks at the property boundary, it knows where it is.
Now, the property boundary is just to the left of that white line there that's going up the hill. So that dust, none of that left the property boundary as declared by Cleanaway, their environmental staff, or the Department of Environment and Science in Queensland. So we have these experts who can, I'm not quite certain how that happens, and you can see the water truck in the background. I actually should show you this again. I'll move this over here.
See the water truck in the background, watering the
On the
road.
right-hand side, you can see the water truck has now crept into the movie, and he's watering the road about 150 metres the other side of where all the dust is being generated. Now, this is the sort of way that both BMI and Cleanaway operate their dumps, and the way they claim they control the dust. And the state government authority goes out there and says, oh, well, they're doing the best they can. We've actually got a letter from the Environment Minister in January saying, oh, they're doing the best they can. Well, sorry, folks. Environment Minister, if you want to come and buy my house and come and live here, I'll exchange with your house. Because I don't agree with you, and I'm not an expert. I don't think you have to be an expert on these sorts of things. Okay, this is PD Online, folks. And if you want to Google Ipswich PD Online, you'll come up onto onto this site. And each time you come in, you've got to agree about the what you want to look at. And what you need to do is do an application inquiry. And again, on the document, it says 1149 and 2018. So we're just showing you how you can do this. And when you do a search, I've got to go and do agree again, sorry.
This is the actual order of events. So you sign the agreement, and then it brings up that you put in 1149, 2018, and it will give you the application, and then you click show, and up comes the application. Search.
It's a little bit slow.
Oh, it's a bit slow. Okay. Right, there it is.
And then we hit show. And there is quite a lot of detail on there. It tells you who the company is. It tells you what's currently happening with the application. It's got the staff members of the Ipswich City Council are handling the application, and below that, it's got all the attachments that have been submitted so far on this application. I think there was 13 documents on the original application. There was 1,261 pages of information. Now, irate members, we are wading through this information slowly and surely to show you information about this thing. In the case of the traffic assessment that the company put in, they only did an assessment. They didn't actually go and count the cars or the trucks currently running down Redbank Plains Road. They actually used a survey from 2 years ago. Now, all you people who drive up and down Redbank Plains Road every day will know there's been significant traffic improvement or increase on that road because of the 6 Mile Creek, because the Collingwood Park getting connected to Redbank Plains Road, because the Swanbank Industrial Estate, Hume's factory out there, they're running trucks out there every day of the week. So this company hasn't even had the decency to spend the money to go and count the cars and trucks before they did their traffic assessment. The traffic assessment only looks at the intersection of Austin Street and Redbank Plains Road. It doesn't look at the big roundabout at New Hill Drive, where over 100 trucks extra per hour are going to go around that roundabout. And if you're coming from Redbank Plains into the city, too bad, so sad, you will give way. They also did not look at the impact of Redbank Plains Road and the Cunningham Highway. There's that much traffic on that intersection, there's 2 sets of traffic lights there now. Now we're going to put another 100 trucks down there, as well as what's already going on. But they didn't go and look at that, because they didn't want to spend the money. So these are the sort of things that you can see. If you want to, go and spend hours trolling through and acquainting yourself with what BMI want to do. Okay. Rightio, so that's our information session at the moment, folks.
Microphone working. Okay.
I'll come over here. Okay.
No, there we go. There's one other thing too. yes, there is an argument for filling voids. I've heard this argument, a few arguments actually. But the thing is, if you're going to fill one hole, then you need to fill all holes, and there's 2 holes sitting between us here and Riverview, between residents in Riverview and residents in Collingwood Park. We've had an approach earlier this year from someone who wanted to fill those holes with construction waste and waste soil and whatever. And the person came to us with a map, and on that map was the route. I'll tell you what the route was. The route was round the bottom, on Collingwood Drive, round the bottom of Redbank Plaza, up Collingwood Drive, turning right into Duncan Street at the Early Learning Childhood Centre there, continuing down Duncan Street, turning left into Dunlop Street, which is actually not a proper road really, travelling up behind the terrace houses, the townhouses behind that are situated on Bailey Street, then turning right into Bailey Street Reserve at the C&K Kindy, and then running along the back of Brenda Court, and some of those houses are only 50 metres away, people. Some of them are like 300 away, but some of them are 50. Travelling along there, and then accessing that site that way. And we said, can't you do it any other way? No, because of 6 Mile Creek. Now, those voids, I think the closest residence in Riverview is 150 metres away. Can you imagine what will happen if we had B-double trucks full of waste going up these roads in our suburb for 20 years? Can you imagine that? Just picture it, if you will, for a moment. It's very scary. Yes, I'm coughing too, just to think about it. It's really, anyway, we told the gentleman, that can't happen, and this is why. And he went away going, oh, I know so much more than I knew before when I started this venture.